Hey everybody, I am here today with Kimberly Thomas, a new art teacher out of the Ponte Vedra campus. We're going to talk a little bit about joining bowls, how the beginning of the year's gone, and then some of her exciting activities she's got coming up later in the year. So Kimberly, welcome. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here this morning.
That's awesome. How has the start of the year gone?
So I have to admit it's going kind of magically here at PVB. It's just been a wonderful place. My students and my staff are super, super welcoming, and I've just been really enjoying this kickoff.
That's awesome. What's been your favorite part?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So I think my favorite part is that I get to collaborate with teachers in the iLab. So in some of my previous teaching experiences, I was really an island and I was working by myself. And it's really neat to be part of a staff where we're constantly talking about how we can improve student performance and work together. That's been just so much fun.
That's awesome. We've got so many new parents that have joined us and new teachers. Tell me a little bit about what the iLab is.
So the iLab is our mini center for innovation. So we're really using the iLab to collaborate, to build skills. So just recently with our fifth grade, we did a project in the iLab where we built peace poles for our Peace Day walk. And my fourth graders are going to be using the iLab to 3D print tools. We're going to 3D print tools that we're going to use for primitive skill building. So they will spin wool into yarn, they will learn to crochet, and we're kind of merging technology and primitive skills.
That's so fun. Like, I love it. I mean, so it sounds like your classroom is not your typical art classroom.
Most definitely not. We do a lot of choice-based art in the classroom, and I really love to push on collaboration, creative thinking, and problem solving. So a lot of times the students are really designing our experience, and I'm acting more as a facilitator for creative thinking.
And what's the response that you get from them? Do they enjoy that, or does that scare them a little bit?
A little bit of both. So I did a talk recently at a university in Spain. It was called "How I Make My Students Cry," because initially that void that they stare into to really invent their own project can be difficult. But once they get raring and going, the ideas start just generating and they start making phenomenal projects. And 10 out of 10 times within a few projects, they're dreaming up projects bigger than I ever could have imagined. So for instance, my fifth graders, we were going to make art for the fifth grade play, but now they're doing a giant 12-foot by 20-foot backdrop, and they're just nailing it. They've got 3 large canvases, and they're going to cover the whole stage in this gorgeous backdrop that they dreamed up.
That's awesome. I love the approach that you're taking. I mean, it is so much more realistic for life. Most of the time in life, hence the hurricane that is trucking down on us, there's not this script that, where you go through. It's literally you have to adapt, you have to be flexible, and I love that you're giving the students a little bit of autonomy in their learning.
It's been really fun. I had the wonderful experience of sitting in on portfolio reviews when I was at University of Florida for my graduate studies. We looked at the undergraduate portfolio reviews. And one of the things that we saw there frequently was that professors were making a pile of super talented students that really didn't have a creative idea, and they just got tossed to the side and they didn't review their portfolio. And so it was a really strong moment for me, because I realized that if I could really press that creative thinking, problem solving, it would really help my students who are interested in pursuing the arts long term, but it would also help my students who maybe weren't pursuing the arts long term, but just were going to work in an interdisciplinary way in their studies moving forward.
I want to take your class.
Sounds great. Come anytime.
Hey, and then transitioning just a little bit, like I heard recently that you're going to the Dominican Republic. What's up with that?
I am. I'm super excited about that. So a few years ago, I had the opportunity to speak at the U.S. Embassy in the Dominican Republic. So they were holding a summit on the state of higher education. And so I went to talk about how we can use arts and collaborative learning to build relationships and have conversations about difficult topics. And so I've been asked by the U.S. Embassy to come back and provide 4 professional development workshops for teachers, art educators in the Dominican Republic. So there's not a lot of art education in the Dominican Republic after the bachelor's level, so they struggle a little bit with some professional development skills. So I'm going to talk about pedagogy and curriculum and allowing choice in art. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, you should be. That's awesome. I absolutely love it. I know our students are going to miss you greatly those days where you're gone, but I also know that you're going to bring back a lot of great stories and energy.
Well, and it's kind of deep because it's just right after Hispanic Heritage Month. So I'm actually going to visit a couple of elementary schools while I'm there and talk to a couple of artists. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to bring back some resources to share with them about the trip.
Super cool. Like, yeah, if nothing else, you'll have made some connections and maybe we can, have some partnership going back and forth between our students and theirs.
I would absolutely love that.
Well, this has been amazing. Like, you're welcome to Bowles. So glad to have you here. You're absolutely crushing it. Keep crushing it. And just keep giving those students those great learning opportunities. I'm sure every day when they're walking out, they're exhausted in a good way, but they're also smiling.
Absolutely. It's been fun to see all of the interesting things that are floating around campus after art class.
For sure, I bet. Anyway, thanks so much, and thanks to everybody out there for all that you do.